have incredible insights from their own journeys to pass along. Their stories will make you cry and laugh, and hopefully as you listen, you'll begin to accept that it is okay not to be perfect all the time. You are perfect to those who matter. I hope you'll be as inspired as I was when I heard these stories that celebrate what it is to be a mom. It's everything. Part 1. Resilience. We often take good health, both physical and mental, for granted. When we are faced with an unexpected illness or an obstacle that leads us to an uphill battle, it takes not only extraordinary physical resilience to fight the fatigue we are facing, but enormous emotional resilience to combat those barriers playing out in our mind. But we all have it in us to cope with more than we ever thought we could, and we are stronger than we give ourselves credit for being. Chapter 1. Nicole Saphier, M.D. Breast radiologist, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, medical contributor, Fox News. A quote by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Motherhood is an extraordinary journey that brings boundless joys and immeasurable fulfillment. Amid the joys, however, lie a unique set of challenges that demand unwavering resilience and determination. In the pursuit of our dreams, it's expected that we follow the well-trodden path that society lays out for us. However, sometimes things don't go as planned, forcing us to make a choice as we stare ahead at a crossroads. For me, that pivotal moment was when I became pregnant at 17. Over the almost 3 decades since then, I have learned that when we are faced with obstacles, it takes courage and conviction to veer away from the conventional routes and forge a new path that may be untested. By embracing the path less followed, we can not only overcome the most formidable challenges, but unlock our full potential, hopefully leaving an indelible mark on other people's lives. From point A to point B. I had always assumed I would eventually be a mom. As I was growing up, my plan was to become a doctor, marry the man of my dreams, and have children. Pretty straightforward. In truth, that was what happened. But it wasn't in that order, and hardly felt as if it were on my terms most of the time. My parents were East Coast born, but both escaped out west for college, where they met, fell in love, and had me. That young love ended in divorce when I was only 2, but I was always their priority and never felt unloved. I admit I'd take advantage of the separation, and if my mom said no to something I wanted, I'd just ask my dad and hope they wouldn't talk about it. I was a tomboy in my younger years, an athlete, an honor student. You really couldn't fit me into one category. Throughout my teen years, my faith grew strong. Though my dad was raised Catholic, my mom was Episcopalian. I found my own community at a Catholic church near our home and regularly attended teen mass, Bible study, and rosary on my own. It was a very important aspect of my life. During my adolescence, competitive cheerleading and gymnastics consumed my time outside school. And because of that, by age 16, I needed my first knee surgery to repair a torn ACL. My coaches were tough and told me I wouldn't be allowed back in the gym until I was able to train again. That gave me the motivation to prove that I was as good as anyone else, despite my injury, and pushed me to competing again before the doctors recommended. Because of my haste, my knee gave out and set me back months. Rather than practices and competitions, I was now in rehab daily, without my friends, without my coaches. It felt as though a huge piece of me was gone. Unfortunately, it sent me into a downward spiral mentally. My mom is a licensed clinical therapist and works with children with mental health issues in the thick of the worst, removing children from dangerous homes and helping trafficking victims. Although that's a far cry from the adolescent turmoil I was experiencing, she was always attuned to my needs and keenly aware that I was struggling with signs of depression.